In this lesson, we're going to be learning that tune, which is Shine by Collective Soul. Big hit in the 90s during the alternative rock thing that was going on. So, pretty simple tune in that there's just a few parts. But that intro verse riff can be a little tricky because there's kind of a lot of little palm mutes going on in between the melody. So the first thing you need to do is you need to tune your whole guitar down a half step, and then do another whole step down on the low E string. It's like drop D tuning, but everything's a half step. So you need to have your high E string tuned to D sharp, your B string A sharp, then F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and then C sharp on the low E string. So make sure you do that or it's definitely not going to sound right. So let's take a look now at the intro and verse material. Okay, that's the whole riff. So we're going to start on the 9th fret of the G string. We're going to do a hammer on. That's the melody in there, okay? But we're going to have this D string ringing with it. So it's 9 to 11. Then back to 9, and then to go to 7, and then 9 to 11 again, and then all the way up here to 14, 7, 9, 11, and then we go to that thing. So that's the melody, but we got this D in there too. So it's called a pedal tone because this note, the C sharp it actually is the root of the song, and it's going to be ringing throughout this entire melody, okay? So you're going to pick both the D and G strings together on that first pick, and then you hammer on the 11th fret of the G string. Then 2 palm mutes on the D string, and then hit the D and G string with your finger on the 11th fret again. Then 2 more palm mutes. Then go back to the 9th fret. Then you hit 2 more palm mutes. And then you have 7th fret, 1 palm mute in between, 7th fret again. And then 2 more palm mutes at the end of that. And then you do the same thing. And go up to the 14. Whoops, 14. Now between these notes here, there's just 1 palm mute in between each one. Everything else, there's 2, basically. Okay, so let me play that whole thing slow. Okay, Okay, then we go down here to the 5th fret, D and G strings. Basically, you're just playing a bunch of 8th notes. That's a quarter note. And then you do the same thing here, 5th fret, 7th fret. So just, you always have those palm mutes on the D string in between. One more time slow. If you're not sure exactly how many palm mutes are in between, it's kind of hard to play and explain it at the same time, so that's why I have the tab. Make sure you reference the tab. Okay, then we're going to go to the next part, the pre-chorus. That's going to start with a open E and A strings, and this D string if you want to grab it. 3 hits. And then we do, and that's just the 3rd fret. You're grabbing at least the E and the A string, if you can get all 3. So your 3rd fret, you're pulling off to open, and then you're striking the open strings again. 3 times, and then go to the 5th fret. And then you do the same thing again. 5th fret, and then 6th fret. And it does that whole sequence 2 times. And that brings us to the chorus, which starts up here on the 10th fret. Then to the 5th fret, and then you basically play like a D major chord, take your 2nd finger off, don't hit the high E string, but you can hit all the other strings, and it's down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down. So 10th fret, 2 hits, 5th fret, 2 hits, just the power chord, you're just barring that 10th fret. Back to the verse, okay? So that's all the parts mainly. It's really a pretty simple tune, other than that, maybe that intro and verse riff that might take you a little bit of time. The only other part there is there's a guitar solo, and it goes to double time feel, and that's just 4 bars on that D chord, 2 bars on the 10th fret, and 2 bars on the 5th fret. And you're just gonna do down, up, 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 down, up. It goes right back to that, okay? Pretty simple. And that's it. There's a solo over that. At the end, I think they do the double time thing again, but it's the same changes as the chorus. So it'd be... those in that order. 10th fret, 5th fret, to your D. And that's it. Other than, there's one other thing I want to show you. In the chorus, there's this lead line. Okay, and the timing of that, I'm sure you've heard that in there. It's just a little bend on the 11th fret. It's not even quite a half bend. And then you hit 11, 14. So the timing, if you're going from the chorus, is 1, 2. It's kind of when you hit the 5th fret. 1, 2. It's right there. It's like on the and a 2. 1, 2. Now, obviously you wouldn't try to play both those at the same time. I was just trying to show you where it falls in relationship to the chords that are being played underneath during the chorus. And that's it. That's all the parts to this tune by Collective Soul. Just pretty simple, really. Just make sure you reference the tab if you get a little lost in that intro verse riff.